Hi guys, and welcome back. My name is Alex with Sunrise Farm. If you are new here, thank you for watching. If you are back again, thank you guys for your support. And today we are going to be doing a garden tour. So follow along. It's a beautiful overcast day today, and it's been like this the past couple days, so I've been able to get a lot done. Come follow me through the garden and I will show you guys what is thriving and what is barely surviving. Let's go. All right, I think we're going to start up by the greenhouse. So we've got our cold weather shade flowers there that are growing really well. They look amazing. I do think that our sage bush is not going to make it. I do think I'm gonna have to pull that up. I also think our rosemary isn't gonna come back this year. So I'm gonna dig those up. I'll probably go to our local greenhouse and get new ones, and then I'll take you guys along with me when I do that. But look at this oregano. It looks amazing. It came back beautifully. And then I've got a black velvet nasturtium here and some of the petunias that I started from seed here next to our rose bush, which has a ton of new growth on it. Over here we've got a peony, and unfortunately all of my tulips in front of the greenhouse have gone by. But the good news is I planted the gladiolus in between, and those should be flowering in the next couple weeks. These are the blueberries that we got from Rain Tree. Look how big those flowers are. Oh, it's not focusing. There we go. They're huge. The size of the flower equates to the size of the berry. Obviously, it's the same like strawberries. They flower and then the berries produced. But I'm going to be doing a video when we plant these out. Next is our garlic row. It looks incredible. I know I say this every video, but I think our garlic this year is going to be probably our best garlic harvest we've ever had. I mean, look how thick the base of that is. I haven't pulled any yet, and I don't want to because our average garlic harvest is usually around July. So I'm just going to leave them. These should produce scapes because they are hardneck garlic. So we're waiting on those. Over here we've got some cauliflower. That does not look so great. It actually looks a lot better than it has the past couple days. It's been so hot. The good news is the onions in between the cauliflower look perfect. And then down here we've got some cabbage and some more onions. These three down here don't look great at all. I might actually pull them and plant something else here. Our red cabbage is doing okay. It's not doing the best. It's definitely not thriving, but it's holding in there. Like I said, today is beautiful and overcast, and the past couple days have been nice and rainy and the same. Our red onions look really good. And then down here we have our yellow sweet onions, and these just got transplanted out probably last week. I also transplanted our dahlias from seed out, and they are not doing the best. They actually started getting eaten by something. So over here we had probably 8 peas, and as you can see, the heat has taken out some of them and the animals have taken out some of them. So I think I'm just going to remove the ones that are here and take this tomato cage and actually plant a tomato here because I always need more room for tomatoes. We've got Thai basil that looks really good. This purple basil is struggling to hold on. And then I actually planted tomatoes out the other day, and I was going to do a tomato video. So I think what I'll do is I will do kind of an intermission in this video and add the clips from my tomato planting video that I took the other day. Let's go plant some tomatoes. Again, these are all the Jersey Devil, and these ones are all from Baker Creek. Perfect.
Oh. So right now I'm just moving the mulch out of the way. I'm gonna dig down as deep as I possibly can in this area. And I'm gonna take my tomato. I'm just gonna take it out. Oh my goodness, these roots look incredible. I don't even think you can see them from over there. But the roots look really great. I'm gonna pop off these smaller leaves and lower. So I popped off all the lower leaves. Nope, I gotta dig my hole just a little bit deeper. There we go. So I piled it right up as high as I could. And now I'm just gonna bring the mulch right back around it. And I'm gonna do the rest the exact same way. All right. So again, here's my tomato that I've trimmed. I'm gonna bury it all the way up to the next leaf. Oh my goodness. Did you see that? But these roots look amazing. I cannot believe that. That centipede was huge. Okay, we're gonna get this right down in there. Backfill with all this compost. And then we're gonna move our mulch right back around so that way all that moisture stays in there. So like I was talking about the cool weather crops, these cauliflower, I mean, they're getting sunburnt. The onions look okay, but it's awful. Again, I've got my peas along the inside here, and they all look really great. They're starting to climb. And then outside the peas, I planted onions in hopes that it'll keep whatever is eating the base of the peas away. Onions are really great pest deterrent for a lot of animals. I have a snapdragon there. And I did the same over here for these peas. These peas do not look as good. As you can see, these ones are struggling from the heat. The ones on this end look a lot better. And on the outside edge is tomatoes. On this trellis, I did, again, another Thai basil, but Roma Supremo all the way up until the very end here, where I planted a couple red beefsteak that were small and struggling, just to give them a chance. If they don't thrive, I can plant another tomato out here. It's hard to tell, but I do have a little area here, a nice long rectangle, where I have planted carrots. And they are coming up beautifully. So as these grow, if they do need to be thinned, I will thin them. However, I find that my carrots do really great bunched together. There are a couple weeds up in here, so I am going to have to get in here and weed shortly. But they look great. I've been keeping them moist because the carrots really like the moisture. And then over here near the patio area where I said I want to do a lot of flowers, I've got all my carnations that I planted out the other day. These look amazing. I do have a bunch more snapdragons that I'm probably going to plant out. But I've got these ones over here next to the walkway. And look how bushy these look. These snapdragons look incredible. They look so much better than last year's snapdragons. Unfortunately, the alyssum that I had planted here did not survive the heat. Oh, you know what? It looks like I did have one survive. So I have some more in the greenhouse. I'm going to bring it out here. I see green there. That one's trying to come back. So I'm going to plant some more in and around here. Look at these. Oh my gosh, I can't get over how bushy they look. My snapdragons last year did not look like that. They were very thin, and I didn't top these or anything. Like, this is how mine looked last year. I'm very impressed with these seeds that I got from Baker Creek. I also planted cosmos over here. I direct sowed those just in a row right here. And it looks like those are starting to pop up nicely. I do have another Thai basil in the corner over here. And then on this side, I did have a bunch of my dahlias from seed planted here. But again, something is eating them. Ugh, it's so frustrating. I don't even know what eats dahlias, but looks like this one and this one have survived. I may cover these two just because there were, I want to say like 8 planted here, and these are the only 2 survivors on this side. And then on this side, again, I planted and direct sowed a row of cosmos here. Those are popping up really nicely. And then my seeds started dahlias. Nothing has eaten the ones over here. I don't know why. But that's all I have planted on this side, just because I do have this little area where I have to weed and put down more cardboard and add more compost because we ran out of compost. On the other side of the walkway from my snapdragons is my poppies and my calendula or calendula. I call it calendula, but everybody else calls it calendula. I did direct sow some, and those are popping up. Everything looks really good. There's more that I direct sowed. I am going to come out here and direct sow a lot more, probably in the next week or so. The lemon tree is bouncing back from the cold spell we got that gave it a little rough start out here. And then we also got an orange tree, so I got to find this a new pot. I still have yet to find my cast iron bistro set to put here on the patio, but I'm holding out hope. I planted my yellow patio choice cherry tomatoes in my Vego self-watering planters, along with some petunias that'll hopefully grow out over the side. And those look really good already. The asparagus looks awesome. I am going to come out here and harvest a couple of these today. And then I'm hoping some of these bigger ones will produce seeds this year. In my other Vego bed, I planted, there was actually bok choy here. I still have the tag. I pulled it again, it bolted. I fed it to the goats, but I planted a marigold. I've got another bok choy, but as you can see, it's flowering and bolting. I've got a couple beets in here, cabbage, dwarf kale, and like I said, I planted these marigolds in the other day. I am going to harvest a bunch of this dwarf kale and some more of our lettuce from our other lettuce bed to make salad this afternoon and give these cabbages a little more space. So I think that was it for this half of the garden. I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to do the back side over by the new arbor that we've built. We're still working on the fenceway, but I'm slowly chipping away. We're getting things in. Like I said, we ran out of compost, but the peppers really seem to like the clay soil that we have here. So I've started planting those just right in the ground and mulching really good around those. I've planted out, I want to say 50, 60-ish peppers so far. I still have to plant out our habaneros, and I still have to go get a couple other varieties that did not germinate this year from our local greenhouse. But again, I'll take you guys with me when I go do that. Let's turn you around. All right, so over on this one, on the outside edge, again, we have tomatoes. These are my regular Romas, not the Roma Supremos like on the other one. You can see that there's a little trench dug all along here. And I actually direct sowed a bunch of zinnias the other day, but I did notice those are popping up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let these get pretty tall. Zinnias grow pretty fast. I'm going to let them get tall, and then I'm going to come in with some cardboard and some mulch just to kind of suppress these weeds. They've started to take over in a lot of areas that we didn't get to early enough, but I can always bring the mower in, mow them over, put down more cardboard and more mulch, and we should be good to go. So on this back side, on either end of this trellis, my daughter planted some of the seed sown dahlias, and again, something is just eating them. It looks like that one actually looks pretty good, hasn't been gotten to yet. I do still have to mulch over here just because the mulch really helps retain moisture in this compost. But my son, while my daughter was planting those, direct sowed our beans. These are our pole beans. And I noticed the other day that those are popping up really nicely. I'll actually put a picture up on the screen so you can see which ones we did. And those are all along the inside of this trellis. Over here, again, I had peas. They're really struggling in this heat. Our cold weather crops are not doing great this year. Oh, a weed. I've been pulling them as I go this year, but this is a big one. I'm glad I was able to pull it out that far. Okay, so like I was saying, the heat and the pests have really gotten to our peas this year. The heat mostly, so I don't know as these ones are going to survive much longer. I might actually pull these ones and just live with the ones that I have over there that are doing a lot better. The ones in the middle here had died, so I planted a couple of our red beefsteak tomatoes here. And then on the outside edge over there, I have more tomatoes. Oh, there's a nasturtium I planted. I planted our white marigolds all along the outside of these tomatoes. But I've got, these are our bigger slicing tomatoes, so orange accordion. All these are orange accordion. And then over here, these two are our red beefsteak, our Spears Tennessee green, and then a Sartre Lois. Oh no, there's another one. Oh, thankfully these are coming out really nicely just because I think all the mulch, they're not able to establish really well. But again, I've got our white marigolds along the outside edge here. I have more. I actually have volunteer potatoes coming up everywhere. Apparently we missed some last year, and when my husband rototilled, I think he chopped them up. So now we have a bunch over here. But I've got more tomatoes over here. These again are slicing tomatoes, so the same varieties, the orange accordion, the Sartre, and the Spears Tennessee green. And I actually brought this over the other day just to kind of have a border around what I'm hoping will be my beets. Normally, I start my beets inside and I transplant them out, and they do much better that way for me. Unfortunately, this year, germination for my beets has been, I can't even say bad, it's been awful. Like, I've never seen anything like it. I've done 3 or 4 full trays and had 3 total sprouts out of 3 or 4 trays. I will get 1 sprout per tray. So I don't know if I got a bad batch of seeds. So I direct sowed a bunch of beets in here, hoping for a better turnout with those. Direct sowed this year. Again, normally I don't direct sow them because I have better luck. And it looks like we've already had a visitor. Oh, it's going to be a year. I did another trench right here. It's kind of hard to see, but this will all be zinnias as well. These ones are sowed a little bit deeper, but you can see there are some coming up. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. Zinnias grow pretty fast. I'm going to let them come up. Then I'm going to come over with my cardboard and my mulch and try and suppress some of these weeds. Oh, that cherry tree we planted, what was it? A little over a week ago. Looks incredible. I do still have to do the fence line over this way to our chain link fence. I have a string right there just to kind of keep a straight line. Look at that. Even the branches have green and new growth. I had a couple of hanging baskets that I hadn't used, so I filled those with the petunias that I started from seed, and I put those on either side. I mulched this really good. And over here we have our climbing rose. It's really struggling. It was definitely in the pot for way too long. I'm glad I got it out. It does look like, yeah, right here, there's some nice new growth that's popping up. Oh, and right there. Yeah, it was having a really rough time there for a minute. So I've got the fence all the way over this way. And then you can see I've got another little trench here. And in here I planted lemon balm. I use a lot of lemon balm. You can see that is a sprout. That is a sprout. So I'm going to let it grow up. Again, bring in some cardboard and mulch. And then up against the fence, I am hoping to actually get fencing to go along these, either cattle panels or like our wire fencing that we have for our pasture. But this year, I think what I'm going to do is just run string between the two fence posts and grow my cucumbers up those. My other rose bush has a bunch of new growth on it. I'm glad I got these planted out when I did because you can tell that they are struggling. I've already got the holes dug for the next fence posts, which are going to go up to here. And then the peppers. I'm excited to show you guys this because I worked on this the past couple days in the rain. Because honestly, I'd rather work in the rain than in the heat. I am not cut out for the heat. So this first row is our Sweet Bell blend, and there are 10 of those. This second row, these peppers are a lot smaller. I think probably our smallest peppers. And these are our lemon spice jalapeno. There are 11 of those in that row. Our next row is our serranos. Those ones look really good too. There is 10 of those. And then at the end of this row, I didn't have a ton of these peppers, so I actually planted nasturtiums, hoping it'll keep the pests away on both ends. These are our California Wonder, just a green bell pepper. Again, another nasturtium on this end. And then this last row that I planted is jalapenos. All of our peppers do look really good. Like I said, our lemon spice are a little bit smaller. So you can see that this one I didn't top, but this one I did top. You can see where I kind of cut it off there, and it's starting to branch out really nicely. I also topped this one. Our strawberry bed is doing really nice. And then over here, our grapes have a ton of new growth. I did direct sow some peas over by our grapes. And those look great. It does look like we've had quite a few visitors. Like I said, I still have our habaneros in the greenhouse, so I gotta get, oh no, not habaneros, scotch bonnets in the greenhouse that I have to get out. And then I'm going to our local greenhouse to pick up a couple more peppers that didn't germinate. I'm gonna direct sow a bunch of stuff coming up soon. I did miss showing you guys a trench of zinnias over by that cherry tree, which is why I went over there, but I forgot to show you guys that. It's just a small area up against that fence line, like how I did the lemon balm. Again, I'm going to direct sow a bunch of stuff coming up here shortly, just because it is that time of year. It's warm enough for everything to be out. The garden is growing super fast. Some things are doing really great, others not so much. Some things I think I am going to cover. I did have the peas covered when they were first starting because the deer and the birds really like my peas. However, nothing seemed to be bothering them, so I removed the covers. I think the biggest trouble for my cold weather stuff like my peas and my cabbages and cauliflower and bok choy is the weather. It got super hot, super fast. The issue with the weather this year is it was really cold this winter and like unusually cold for a very long time. And then when it warmed up, it got super hot. So I've got 2 more beds left to show you, and those are just lettuce. It's not that exciting. I think I have a couple nasturtiums planted and then a rose bush planted. But I will head over and show you guys those. I think that is it for today's video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you for watching.